What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are gonna give this a second try with the face cam. Sorry about my voice. My voice is a little given out, but we still have to get the videos out. So let's go into it. This is an investment review, kind of going over cards that I've already talked about. Also go to a couple of new cards. A little bit has changed, but I do kind of want to like hammer in, like I guess hammer in the issues of these cards. So if you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. All right, without further ado, let's get into the cards. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Boiled Savage Dragon. This is a card right here that I pretty much kind of just wanted to catch up with, essentially because this card is very much getting hot, and I am happy to see that. We got the Prismatic Rare. Like I said, I was getting these in like the $9 to like $12 range, depending on the situation that I bought them at. Most of the time I kind of got them closer to 12, but I did get a few at 9. And right here we got Nearman first at 18, lightly played 19. So this card is already going into the $20 mark. I really feel like it could go higher. I am not gonna put it past it. I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer, and I'm gonna wait until a couple other decks drop. And we got the secret rare from Bowser Legend. This one right here just going up the same price, just starting to just shoot up. So glad that I got onto this card. Near Mint first edition 16. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, and honestly I kind of hoping that like this one was going to be the $20 version, and then with the Prismatic was going to be closer, 25, 30. But that's like for now it's still climbing. It's still kind of getting up there. 16.49, 16.95, getting to that $17 range. So this card is getting there. Still, it still has some time, but I'm looking at the ultra rare version, and the ultra rare version, depending on which one we're looking at, is just kind of like really doing its thing here. You got light play 1963, light play 1966, unlimbs at 1889. So we're pretty much like at $18, $19, $19, $20. It isn't. I don't know. I could really see this being like $25, and then the Prismatic and the secret rare being like $30, $35. If like really depending on just like depending on like the whole taste. I really do like the look of this ultra rare, but at the same time you do have the Starlight version, and this one right here is the version that I am the most excited about right now. I bought it at $250. I really didn't expect kind of anything crazy to happen instantly, but about a week after I bought it, it already kind of started climbing, and it's already now hitting in the $293 into that $300 range. It is going to kind of stay at that $300 range because you got a lot here at $299, and then once you go to the second page, you got a good amount. You got a couple of them right here at $299, and then the 300, 315. So I really I pretty much knew that this card was gonna go to 300. That was the reason why I wanted to get it at 250. But 300 also still isn't a really high price. Like, I mean, of course I'm talking about in relevance to Starlights. Like I'm not talking about just in Yu-Gi-Oh, in relevance to Yu-Gi-Oh, or relevance to like another copy of the card. I'm just in Starlight terms, $300 is still not really the most, especially for what Savage Dragon does. It's one of your it's one of the better cards, one of the cards that you would get as your only Starlight rare. So I could see this being a $500 Starlight potentially, even though there is a lot of 300. If there's any kind of like rush buyout, on the Starlight side, I could see this one being that $500 Starlight. Apollosa Bow of the Goddess. This especially, I'm just gonna mostly focus on the one from Magnificent Mavens, because like when it got reprinted in Mavens, I was just like, why aren't we why aren't we buying this out? Especially when she was, I think she was like $3 at one point, maybe she was like $3.99. Yeah, you got some right here like $4.44, so she probably was in the more like $3 range. In all honesty, like I wouldn't really be surprised. Kind of like 447, 336. So yeah, like around in November she was like 336. So she was in that $3 range, and that's when I started buying these up. Like I knew this would be a huge card, and I feel like it didn't go higher. I feel like Appaloosa, like especially just, I'm mostly talking about the ultra rare. I'm not speaking on the secret rare or the alternate art. Those right there are on kind of, those are like speaking a little bit differently. Yeah, like I guess one isn't too differently. They're all the same card, but like this not only being like the art that it is, but a lot of people really do like original art. They like secret, they like, like even though like maybe they're like, okay, I don't want the secret, but I do like that original art. So I'm just that's the reason why I'm kind of saying I'm mostly just speaking on this version, because it really depends on the player. But I could still see this being $10. I could still see there being a little bit more juice to climb up that ladder. And once it hits a 10, I would love to kind of like kind of just offload them. But right now, like I said, if you're looking for like Appaloosa, I would just probably want to get her before she goes up. I do feel like this version could go way higher. Cross sheep. It's not happening super fast, but if you don't watch out, there's just a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out that could be abusing cross sheep. There's a lot of decks out there that use cross sheep. I guess if I was saying that, they're like, well, which decks? Like, I don't want to really get like too much into it. There's a lot of these like weird random combo decks. I know there's also rogue Mech Knight Invoke style decks that they use the card, but this card could soon be part of a 100% meta strategy, and I just wouldn't want to be caught without it. If you really want to play that, or if you think it's going to be good, I would just. It's still a good time to get this card. Like even the prismatic secret rares. I have like a page of these. Like so like this is it's at a good spot. But I wouldn't really hesitate. Like if you want to get a couple copies and if you could get them, so you get 4.90 for $2, if you get them at your locals for like $5 a set, I don't think it'd be the worst thing to have maybe like 3 sets just kind of sitting in the back just in case they go up, so you can have them for trade bait. Like this is a card that I really wouldn't want to be caught without. Even the rares are almost $2, so I would, like I said, if you think you have these in your bulk, if you think if you're kind of looking for a card like, oh, what's a card that's like not really too expensive, but like in the next few weeks, maybe months, weeks, very recently could kind of go up. Cross sheep would be that card. Like I said, there's a lot of different options. I would go with the prismatic, but like there's a lot of versions of cross sheep that you kind of go in and get at a good price and actually still kind of get a little something out of it. Decode Talker Heat Soul. I'm a little bit torn because I have a feeling that this card's most likely gonna get a reprint in the Fire Duels pack. But if it doesn't, I could see Heat Soul really going up. Like it's used in the Code Talker strategy. It's used in certain combo decks, used in certain rogue decks. It's used in the Salamangreat strategy. I even think who Mathmech. I think Mathmech sometimes like run this card depending on what situation they're in to draw. So I really also really like the Code Talker Heat. So I thought it was gonna be way better, but I guess we didn't get all the cards to go with it to make it super top tier. But I guess we are in the Fire Duels pack. And like I said, if you have some of these laying around, or if you can start picking these up for like 50 cents, like at 99, like they're already kind of going to $1. So if you get these for like if you get like a set of them for $2 or trade for them, I would just go and trade for them now, because I wouldn't be surprised if these go to like $5, $6, $7 a copy, just because they really only have the one printing. All right, and the last card we're talking about is Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. There's probably some people that probably wouldn't really agree with me, like saying this is probably this is like the worst one of them all. And to a certain extent, you might be right. Like there's a lot of value you get, especially if you compare to like Ash Blossom or something, like or even like the Ghost Mortar and Haunted Mansion. Like even if you relate it to those cards, because they have like 3 different scenarios to where they negate something. And I understand, comparing to those cards, it's like, okay, yeah, this is not the best. But when you look at it in the scope of certain metas or just certain decks, then you kind of see the power of this card. Like, so I really like, a lot of people really don't remember how like in Spiral format, this was like the automatic off switch. Like you could kaiju something to get rid of like the troublesome spiral, to like get around everything. You could have sphere mode to get rid of all the stuff. Like the really, like, unless you like use Joel and Lockbird to just stop them from adding cards to their hand, the only other way to ensure you were going to win was Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. And even if you Joel and Lockbird them, if you didn't like put up a good enough board or OTK them, then the Spiral player is just gonna come back next turn because of all the resource they're gonna be able to gain. Like the deck was really good. The only way to completely shut the deck off was to hit him with Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries and just get rid of the double helix. I kind of feel that Yu-Gi-Oh has evolved from that to where you don't need that one card in an extra deck. Like, you know, it's like decks don't just need on their ultimate negate. They can very much make other cards that either negate other stuff, or they can put up some kind of other oppressive board. They could OTK. So in the I guess in the way Yu-Gi-Oh has been, you know, going, you kind of see the value of her less and less, but at the same time, at any moment, I say this a lot, but at any moment, Konami could just bring it back to where this is the one card you need to just make sure you win. And if this card hits the field, there's no stopping you. And if you just Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries that card, you could just kill the deck entirely. On top of that, there's also a lot of decks that really don't put up that good of a board without, let's say, like Bro. Like, let's say you're playing like Sword Soul. You're playing Sword Soul, and like really, like, I mean, they do have, like, you know, like they have like the, you know, they have all the different other Sword Soul monsters, other synchros they could put up, ones that, you know, that banish, the ones that search and negate. But without Barone, like, a lot of that's very manageable. You know, if you're playing Runic for hire and you take out the Folgo, then the deck is very much more manageable, because, you know, like the Folgo is like what really gives them like that extra. You know, it's like if you're playing Kashtira and then you're able to take out a Rise Heart, although you rather use other hand traps, but you kind of understand like what I'm saying. Like, there, even right now, there's decks to where if you take out that certain extra deck monster, the power, the power level goes from like 10 to like a 7.5. And, you know, of course, even though that won't guarantee you the win, there could be a deck that comes out to where if you take out the extra card, they go from a 10 to a 2. And when that deck hits, Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries is going to like hit hard. I've already kind of got my hands. I want to get a couple more Ultimate Rare copies, but also want to find some Secret Rare copies. Like, I went over this on my Market Watch, but Secret Rare copies right here. Like, let's see. So you got like Near Mint Unlim. That's Korean. Okay, so Damage First Ed right here. Korean. Look at that. See, like, there's a lot of them up. But okay, so here we go. Like a Light Plate Unlims, 319. Light Unlims, Light Unlim, Near Mint Unlim. Look at, so Unlimited right here, $4. We're looking at like a $4 Unlimited. And see, Moderate Plate First Ed. Near Mint Unlim. See, like, we still got to keep going down to find. Okay, so we got a Light Plate First Ed right here. Light Plate First Ed. Let's see. So we got our first Light Plate First Ed for about $3.50 with the $1 shipping. So we got about $4.50. Where if you want like a first edition card copy, you're looking at $5 already. Honestly, like, if you could find someone that has these and they really think like, oh yeah, give me $2, I would just go and pick these up. Just, you know, slowly but surely starting to pick these cards up. You just never know when that's going to come. Also, like, I'm looking at this, like a Light Plate First Ed, $6. Light Plate First Ed, $5.34. So yeah, we're looking at $5 to $6 for a Light Plate First Edition copy of Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries from Shining Victories. There's a lot of budget versions, so that's kind of the reason why on a more investment side, I'm talking more about the Ultimate Rare and the Secret Rare. Let's go on really quick, just go over the Ultimate Rare before the end of the video. This one, it's showing a huge U, and a huge U. What did I call this? A U Valley. We'll call it U Valley. Huge U Valley. And I guess the best time would have been right here at 25. But I still feel like at this point that it's at right here, it's still not bad. Like, if we could find some in the 37, if it's like 37, 30, 37 to 40 range, maybe get like a playset or two, I could really see this be, because it looks really nice. I love how it pops the background out and everything. So like, I could really see this, like I said, especially if if the meta calls for it, I could see it being $80. So I could very much see this card doubling in price, and I'm gonna try to get my hands on more copies of this card, and hopefully you guys will too. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Sorry about this. Sorry about my voice. Like, it's just I was, had some stuff going on this weekend, and I lost it in a fit of rage. So we'll go ahead and end it there. So peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.